The 2026 F1 season is just around the corner, and everyone is holding on to their cocks and for dear life as they brace for the new F1 regulations. Since the dreaded, abominable, and atrocious 2014 turbo hybrid introduction, the season hasn't even started yet, and there's already news and controversy regarding the engine regulations, specifically with Red Bull and Mercedes. So apparently Red Bull and Mercedes have found a loophole with their engine compression system, which let's be honest, nobody really gives a fuck about. But the main point here is that it makes them 0.3 to 0.4 a lap quicker, which is a massive gap, by the way. The season hasn't even began, and Red Bull and Mercedes have already found a loophole that makes them 0.3 to 0.4 a lap quicker. So teams like Red Bull, sugar-free Red Bull, Mercedes, Alpine, Williams, and McLaren will have a significant advantage compared to the rest of their competitors. You know what this means? Season hasn't even started yet, and Ferrari have already fallen behind. Unbelievable. It's not even March yet, and Ferrari have already fallen behind the rest of their competitors. It's over. Just give up already. We have to check the suicide rates at the start of March, because that's when the Australian Grand Prix takes place. And the moment we see Ferrari getting knocked out of Q1 or Q2, I pray for those Tifosi fans. I pray for the Ferrari fans, honestly. 2026 is not going to be our year. In fact, no year is going to be our year, because it's been 17 fucking years since we achieved literally anything. So what are the 2026 F1 regulations? I don't even know myself, or rather, I don't understand it myself, because there's so much technical bullshit that they have introduced. It's quite confusing to keep track of. So the changes that have been made, and I would say this in a positive light, is that the cars are a lot smaller by like an inch, and they are less heavier, 30 kilograms less, which, mind you, they're still heavy. The cars are still extremely heavy. The average Formula 1 car right now is around 798 to 800 kilograms, minus 30, that makes them 770 to 769, 68. That's still heavy. That is still extremely heavy, but still an improvement. Not a large improvement, but still an improvement. The FIA are actually doing something good for once, which is not something the FIA usually do. Say goodbye to DRS, aka drag reduction system, and let's introduce a new system that reduces drag, aka DRS. But don't confuse this DRS or this DRS. This DRS means drag reduction system. This DRS means drag retarded sodomites down the back straight, because they think that Lewis Hamilton is an 8-time world champion and Max Verstappen is a 5-time world champion. They deserve the A-train treatment, also known as active aero. It's the same fucking thing. They could have just stuck with DRS, honestly. This video literally says activate straight mode to open the front wings to reduce drag and increase top speed.
Drivers can engage straight mode, which opens the wings to reduce drag and increase top speed.
Almost like some sort of drag reduction system, aka DRS. They introduced these new different modes that drivers can use in their races. I already mentioned straight mode, aka active aero, aka DRS, aka drag retarded sodomites, and straight mode, which reduces drag and makes Lando look less of a twink, aka straight mode.
Oh my god, I'm a Scorpio, and let me tell you all about it.
Shut your fucking mouth! No problem, John. Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
There's a boost mode, which deploys maximum power to the engine for better overtaking, not to be confused with overtake mode, which deploys maximum power to the engine for better overtaking.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Intel has told us there are at least 7.
Okay, I already see one. Give me. Okay.
They're the same picture.
There's a recharge mode, which recharges the car battery, although that has already existed beforehand, but this time it's going to play a much bigger role since they've gone from an 80-20 power split between petrol and electric to almost a 50-50 split between petrol and electric. I did not know we were watching fucking Formula E. More info on the 2026 F1 regulations, you can watch this video. I'll link it in the description below if people want to understand it better, although I still couldn't understand shit, but that's only because I'm kind of a dumbass. There's a good Driver 61 video which explains the regulations in a lot better detail and the reasons as to why it might be good, it might be bad, there's better closer racing, less dirty air, etc. I will also link that video in the description as well for people that are interested. Now, the response to these regulations was the exact same response for the 2014 regulations. Fans of the sport being irritated at the fact that we've gone from an 80-20 split to 50-50 split, making the sport more electric and technical than what it is meant to be, pure racing. Also, new technical terms being thrown around, making it so much more complicated and hard to understand what the fuck is going on. Boost mode, overtake mode, recharge mode, active aero, replacing drag reduction system with a system that reduces drag, straight mode. So far, it's not looking good for the 2026 F1 regulations, although the anticipation is exciting. Not knowing which teams are going to win, which teams are going to prevail, which teams are going to get this new regulation right, makes the anticipation more exhilarating, makes the wait more exciting. But from what 2014 has taught us, it's that the novelty wears off quickly, especially after the first race, and fans will once more be disappointed of what's to come. For example, and I'm going to refer to the 2014 season, it started off with the Australian Grand Prix. When the season started, this was the end of Vettel's dominant performance with his RB9. Come Australia qualifying, Vettel qualifies in 13th, which was absolutely unheard of at the time, while Hamilton took pole position and Rosberg took 3rd place, and in between the two Mercedes was Daniel Ricciardo in the RB10. That specific Australian Grand Prix race ended poorly for Hamilton because he had a bit of an engine malfunction, so Rosberg ended up winning the race. But this set the stage for what people were to expect for the rest of the season. Then come the Bahrain Grand Prix. That year's Bahrain Grand Prix was the perfect showcase for which team nailed the new regulations, and every other team being incompetent and severely falling behind. So the Grand Prix start was a Mercedes 1-2, with Rosberg in pole and Hamilton in second. But Hamilton gets a better start than Rosberg, and he takes the lead of the race, with Rosberg coming in second. Now, this race was mainly known for Rosberg and Hamilton's battle for the lead of the race. Now, do you guys notice anything about this battle as you're watching it right now? Do you notice anything? It's that Hamilton is actually in front and leading the race, something that he doesn't know how to do these days. I am trying to piss off the Hamilton fans. Can you tell that I'm trying to piss off the Hamilton fans? I fucking hate Hamilton fans, I swear to God. But the other thing to notice about this little kerfuffle between the two Mercedes drivers is that no other team is within their vicinity. It's just the two Mercedes cars. And this is the perfect example. The camera angle is perfect. As they get out of turn 3 and into the straight, notice how there's no other car appearing in turn 1. No other car in the background. It is just the two Mercedes cars. It took them 9 laps. 9 laps to build a gap of over 9 seconds between them and Massa, who was in 3rd place. 9 laps and a 9-second lead between these two Mercedes drivers. Obviously, when lap 18 happened, which is when their little battle started, no other car was within their vicinity, no other car was close to them. These two were on another fucking galaxy. That is how dominant these two Mercedes cars were. So what is my point then. Based on history of Mercedes, this domination continued with them winning 8 constructors titles in a row from 2014 till 2021. 7 drivers titles in a row from 2014 till 2020, with 6 of them being Hamilton's and 1 of them being Rosberg's. And from 2014 till 2016, the Mercedes cars were so fast, no other car could match their pace. No other car could reach the same level of competitiveness that these two Mercedes cars had. The title battle from 2014 till 2016 was always between these two drivers, was always between Hamilton and Rosberg and Hamilton, for 3 seasons straight.
Hasn't got the grip that Rosberg has got.
And to be fair, Hamilton has actually got more of a front wing now. He's got a puncture Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg's lost a bit of front wing. And Lewis Hamilton wheel to wheel with Nico Rosberg in towards turn 2. His teammates got the inside line. They've touched again. Hamilton runs wide, and is he going to come onto the track and touch his teammate? He's now got damage. Nico Rosberg, Valtteri Bottas, round turn 3 we go, and it's Nico Rosberg and Hamilton's onto the grass, and Hamilton's had a massive crash, and he's crashed into his teammate. The two Mercedes come together as Hamilton tried to pass.
It took them 3 seasons. 3 seasons for Ferrari to actually figure out the new turbo hybrid regulations and actually bring the title fight back to Mercedes. From 2017 onwards, that was when there was new regulation changes in 2017 with the cars being a lot bigger and heavier, etc, etc. Although because it was Ferrari, they are experts at knowing how to fuck everything up at a crucial point of the season and hand over their wins to their title rivals because they've been feeling generous for the past 17 years. Yay, Ferrari, very sweet of you. What a sweet team. Look at these guys, just handing over the title to their title rivals. So nice of them, honestly. It wasn't until 2021 where Red Bull developed a car that could compete with the formidable Mercedes and a driver who could actually compete against Lewis Hamilton. The point I'm trying to make here is that 2014 was an all-out engine battle. It was which team had the most powerful engines, and it was clearly Mercedes. It's why Williams and Force India were a top 3 and top 4 team at the time, because both those teams sported the Mercedes power unit. 2026 is going to be the exact same thing. It is which team has the most powerful engine and which team is going to dominate and take the title for not just this year, but for a couple of years to come. I say this because it wasn't until 2017 where superior aerodynamics didn't play a role until the 2017 season, because while Mercedes had better pace and better muscle, Ferrari had an aerodynamic downforce monster. That's why that season, Vettel or Raikkonen would take pole in tracks that demanded higher downforce, while Hamilton or Bottas would take pole in tracks that required less downforce and more raw pace. Think Raikkonen getting pole in Monaco, and then Vettel proceeding to win Monaco. Think Vettel winning Hungary, which is another track that requires high downforce. Think Mercedes winning the Italian Grand Prix that year, even though it was a wet qualifying, but still the Mercedes completely dominated that race. And think Spa 2017, and thank you, Yay listener, for all of this info. Although the video isn't up now because Formula 1 management are a bunch of cunts, Yay listener's analysis helped with this. That year, Hamilton took pole while Vettel was in second, and we know that going down the Kemmel Straight is the perfect opportunity for the second place driver to overtake first place driver because of the massive slipstream that they get on that straight. However, that race was proof of how good the Mercedes power unit was, because when Vettel got up the arse of Lewis Hamilton's car and gets a perfectly good slipstream, the moment he gets out of the slipstream, it's pure drag race from there. And Vettel just couldn't overtake. The Ferrari power unit was just not strong enough to compete against the Mercedes power unit. That is how good the Mercedes power unit was. And obviously, think the Singapore Grand Prix that year, which is another track that demands high downforce. And obviously, Vettel took pole. And that race, he was 3 points behind Hamilton, but he's the one that took pole while Hamilton started in 6th. So clearly, by the time he would have finished the race, he would have taken a 7-point lead. 7 minus 3 is 7, 6, 5, 4. He would have been 4 points clear from Hamilton, and in the lead of the championship. So you would think that in the race itself, he would win.
And it's lights out, away we go. Verstappen gets an excellent start. Sebastian Vettel needs to cover him off. Kimi Raikkonen on the inside, and he's crashed with Verstappen. He's hit Vettel as well. Raikkonen is out before the first corner, and he's gone into the Red Bull there as well. Carnage as Fernando Alonso gets involved in the McLaren. The Toro Rosso gets to the escape road, and Fernando Alonso is out of this race, as is Kimi Raikkonen and Max Verstappen as well. It's the second time this season Raikkonen and Verstappen have collided, and yes, Vettel going backwards. He is off and looks.
So we might be expecting the same results with 2026. Already there's a massive engine controversy between Red Bull and Mercedes, finding a loophole with their engine, giving them a boost of 0.3 to 0.4 seconds a lap, and that's already a significant advantage. Season's fucking over. The rest of the teams have to catch up. Alright, I'm sorry to tell you, but the rest of the teams have to catch up. Ferrari should spend less time complaining about what Mercedes and Red Bull are up to and spend more time developing their fucking power unit. What the fuck is wrong with this team? I swear to God.
I am stupid. I am stupid.
The big expectation for 2026 was that Aston Martin were going to be the new powerhouse of the season, considering their development over these past few years, poaching prized and important individuals, poaching prized and important drivers, building advanced facilities to develop their new cars, managing to convince Honda to stay in F1 and be their new engine provider for the new F1 regulations.
The engine was going much slower than before. Amazing. Mate, I have no brakes, no tires. We are out of the points. I mean, we try to do whatever, but I don't care too much.
Oh my God. Fernando Alonso is going to have massive fucking PTSD from his time at McLaren. And they did all that just for this fuck-ass driver to drive for them. Could you imagine Lance Stroll driving an Adrian Newey designed car? Well, you don't have to imagine anymore because it's happening. It's happening right now. It's happening right now as we speak. Lance Stroll is driving an Adrian Newey designed car.
Oh no, this can't be.
But honestly, it might not be Aston Martin. Big Daddy Stroll poured all of that money for fuck all. Because other than Mercedes and Red Bull with their new engine advantage, other powerhouses are there to look out for. Audi, who are extremely successful in all other racing categories, are joining F1, and something could come of them. Don't count out a team that has managed to achieve 13 victories at the 24 hours of Le Mans. McLaren could continue their dominant form with these new regulations, much like how Red Bull did from 2021 to 2022, changing from that era of cars to the new ground effect era of cars, and Red Bull continued to be successful. McLaren could replicate that success. We don't know who are going to be the winners here. We don't know which team has figured out these regulations. But I can say with confidence, the team that does figure out these regulations will not just win this season, but will win for the next seasons to come. And this is based on history. It could be as extreme as Schumacher's, Vettel's, or Verstappen's type of domination, with them winning every single fucking Grand Prix that can get their hands on. Or it could be more of a Hamilton type domination. For those that understand what I'm talking about, If you know, you know. But honestly, time will tell, specifically these many days depending on when I finish editing this video. At 7th of March, qualifying at 5 a.m. in the fucking morning. Fuck, I gotta wake up for that shit. But anyways, that's it. That's about it. Expect the 2026 regulations to be almost the same as 2014, with one team dominating, and it's going to be a boring ass season. But let's see how it goes. You know, I hope, is this video gonna age like milk? I hope so. For the sake of entertainment, I hope so. I hope it's like a combination of the 2024 season and 2025 season. If you understand what I mean, with 2024 having like 7 different race winners and 2025 having a close title fight battle. Could you imagine that? The perfect season of multiple different race winners, but multiple different title contenders. Oh, dream. That sounds like a fucking dream. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.